Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Crafting in a Small Space. I am Miranda, and this is Small Space, my car. There's so many things to talk about. There's a yarn haul in here. The yarn that's behind me is the yarn that I tried to make a blanket out of, but it was too harsh. Behind me, in front of me, and beside me are all the projects that I've finished crocheting and knitting, and a couple project bags with some yarn that I thought I was going to do something with, but I ended up doing something with something else. So in front of me in the front seat here is an enormous bag that has all my finished hats in it. And I have all this stuff in here so that I can go, I brought it from my storage unit so that I can take pictures of it, to list it, to sell it, because I don't need to keep all the things I've finished. I just stockpile them everywhere. So in the back is like IKEA bags full of finished blankets, twin size, baby, throw, everything you can think of. And it's either always too hot outside or raining, or there's people in the backyard, because there's a really nice corner of the yard that has like this grape arbor and a little broken swing and, stuff in it that I could take pretty pictures in. It's just, I don't ever get the time to do it, or alone. And I know the turkey would come up and attack me the entire time and scream the whole time, or gobble, 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 and like peck chunks out of my legs. So I thought about it yesterday and I was like, I've had this in here for like a month or two. I should just do the hats in here. And I was like, why haven't I thought of this? And so I took one of my blankets that I had made, and this was like a pattern I came up with real baubles, like the popcorn stitch. I made these diamond-shaped bits here and then staggered bits there, and ever so often it repeats the diamond bit and then the staggered bit. And I flipped this upside down so that you could only see this portion of it. And I laid it on my seat over there. And then I slowly photographed, all the hats I've made. And they're so spongy and nice. And they're made out of that homespun stuff. And I realized that there are some hats that I made before I really knew what I was doing. And I was just following one pattern. This is so beautiful. It's so silky and so delicious. I have made so many of these hats for him, and he loves this more than anything he's ever gotten from anyone, because he actually uses them. And I have like worsted weight yarn ones. And this is the stitch I came up with. I used to call it like the pineapple stitch or something. And this, you can tell, is before I knew how to change colors. So I'm going to rip this one out. I made this one a long time ago. And I'm going to rip it out, and I'm probably going to do some color work with this and get to play with it without having to buy new yarn. But there is a yarn haul in here in this video, because I did buy some yarn. But look at this. I got some of that yarn, that expensive Malabrigo crap. And I didn't mean to say the word crap, like stuff. And I made the bauble knit. It is so beautiful and so perfect. And I make skull cap hats. I don't make the long beanies, as I've said a million times. And this hat is so amazing. I cannot believe, look at the inside. I think the inside is just as cute. Look at the crazy like joins. It's like these they look like little spiders. But, so this is one of the ones that I made. And I was having a bad day the day that I bought this yarn and this yarn. You can't see the pattern of this, but I did a staggered stitch. So it's kind of like this. It's like this laddered. There you go. See how it like kind of goes that way? You can see it in person like super well. But I did this like kind of staggered thing. I was having a really bad day when I bought this yarn. Really bad, like bridge or shopping. And These were each $40 a piece. I was not happy after I left because my brain kind of had that gratification. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Expensive yarn. But I don't list my hats very expensively, so. And then remember the camping trip that I may or may not have posted videos of where I was making Freddy Krueger hats? And I gave one to his daughter. One, I did the wrong pattern, so I accidentally made it enormous. You could have put it on a jack-o'-lantern. I have one left. And I was making them with burgundy yarn and kind of an army green yarn. And I was doing bright red ones with bright green because different scenes and different Freddy Krueger movies, his sweater actually changes colors based on the kind of situation, his whole like trying to be a scary kind of thing. And then obviously the different movies. But I made like a variety of hats and I have like so many. This was another one of my favorites, but this is the same pattern as this one, but not the same stitch because this one is, for some reason, absolutely enormous. So this one probably has to be reworked. I did a lot of hats before I really knew how to knit. So I love these two. I have a bag stuffed full of hats right at my area right here. I went into the craft store today and I was like, oh my gosh, if somebody was like coming out of the craft store or like crazy people in the neighborhood saw my car, they'd be like, oh, let's just take this car. It's got probably $1,000 worth of yarn in here. And I'm talking like finished stuff and other. I just dropped 2 skeins of yarn on the floor of my car. My God. Pine needles. Hello. Anyway, so I have those hats that I made. And then I found something wrapped in bubble wrap. And do you guys, if you're coming for the first time, hi, I've made a bunch of stuff. If you're here and you've always been here, you remember the cowl I was designing? I looked through all my videos and I don't know if I actually revealed what the dang thing looked like when it was finished. But my favorite knit stitch, if I'm doing a stitch with texture, is the eyelet. And I had all these yarns I bought for Christmas time, probably still when I was married back in like, I would say 2013. And I don't throw yarn away, obviously, if I'm moving, I just take it with me. And so all of these have sparkle in it. So there's the white eyelets, the green, there's a gray, there's a beautiful, I just love that, blue, and there is this like tan kind of brown. And this is the cowl finished. And I should have made it skinnier because when you put it on, it's very low down here. I mean, it kind of goes down to here, and I don't really know what they're supposed to be like because I don't wear warm stuff or knit stuff or crochet stuff because I'm always wearing these. I have hundreds of pairs of earrings I've made that don't have anything hooky on them, but I just go to these. I'm just always hot. But this is just so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. This was like such a gratifying knit too, because I remember making this. So yeah, I made this and I finished it a long time ago, like around the time where I was doing it, like starting it, and it was wrapped in bubble wrap. And I was like, what's the bubble wrap thing in my hats? And I hadn't looked at all of these hats in these bags since I did that winter show, the very first and only show I've ever done, where you get a booth or whatever, which was winter of like, I don't know, 3 years ago? 2-3 years ago? When I was working at the museum still. And yeah, so the hat that I have to rip out and redo something with. I love this thing. Oh, love all this yarn. Anyway, so I had this was my background, and I was taking the photos of all the hats. So now I have, and it was sunny, and it's super gloomy today. So if I was to have decided to do this today, it would have been like nasty. So I am not in a good place, and I really needed some retail therapy today and some Burger King. And, you know, I am just kind of having these moments where I cannot seem to find, every time I go on the internet, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, all of the suggested things that I never watch, I don't ever watch these kind of things, are all this horrible stuff and terrible things and negative things and making fun of each other and discovering people cheating and all, just so much negative, toxic, sludgy BS on the internet. And Instagram and Pinterest and YouTube are the place that I go to feel like I'm in the same area as like-minded people that want to make things and show cute animals and uplifting stories. And it's just like, lately everybody's just posting all these animal abuse pictures and child abuse and cheating pictures and cheating videos, and it's just like all this hate crap for other people and stuff about what's going on in the world, military or political. And I don't follow any of that. I don't watch the news. I keep, for my own mental sanity, I do not pay attention to what's going on in the world. And if you do and you think that's ridiculous, that's completely fine. But I can't have that much hate awareness. I just need there to be yarn and my kitty and, you know, good things. And lately, every time I open my phone, there's just so, and then going home, and he knows that I don't like listening to that kind of stuff. And then he goes and tells me all this nasty crap, or he'll start playing things out loud that are just hate. And I'm just like, it's such an and I work in a jail, and nothing about the jail is bad, but I do see people coming and going, visiting their people. And it just, you know, that whole thing, everything is just piling up all at once. And I tried to call my mom and she didn't answer. And I don't have any friends to talk to because they are all in a different place that I am entirely, and don't make the same things I do if they make stuff, and they have small children and I don't have any, and so I have free time and they don't, and I just needed some retail therapy. And one of the commissions that I got was a 49ers hat for this lady's kid. So the ball of yarn that I just freaking dropped on the car floor is Loops and Threads, red and gold, 49ers colors. I said, is it burgundy and gold or is it red and gold? And she said red and gold. This is the closest to gold I could find. And it's funny because one of these has a color and one's just a number. Yeah, this is just a number, and this is like called Bordeaux. Yeah. I love Loops and Threads. These are very affordable. This is like $4 or $5 a skein. Totally great. So I have that for the hat. And then I was thinking of these hats, and I was like, I could just get some more of this yarn. And I could, I'm shaking. I'm just always shaking. I'm always in a state of like, I feel raw lately, like super raw lately. But I was going to buy more of this yarn when I went to Michael's just now on my lunch break, and, it was really expensive compared to stuff that was just like it. So instead of buying more of this yarn, plus I have 2 of these hats that I need to take out because they have this mistake edge on them. One is silver and black. One is silver stripes and purple stripes. And And the yarn is actually silver. It's very shiny and silver. It's the same stuff as this. And then there's this one. And I'm probably going to undo the one that has the pom-pom because nobody can even wear it unless you have like the world's largest head. So instead of buying the homespun stuff, I got the Loops and Threads version. Loops and Threads Charisma. So not the same, but close enough to play with. So I got, I have the doodle cards. You remember the doodle cards? I have the doodle cards. And so I was getting yarns to use with it. So this would be pumpkins. This would be like night sky. This would be like more, there's one of them that has like cobblestone and, gravestones look like the gray. White for ghosts and skulls and spider webs. Trees, bushes. And then black for like, and it's a tweedy one. I liked the tweedy one. This one is like for bats and spiders. Sorry, my brain. So I have all of these now. I'm going to hide back here. I'm waving to you with one of my fingers. Oh wait, let's go like this. It's so funny. Wait, let's stick one under there. You can almost see all of them. It's hard to coordinate. Anyway, so I got all of these. I'm probably going to get more of these to do color work hats that are, when it starts warming up, these hats are a little warm. And he wears hats like all year round, so, and I love making him hats because he's like, not for nothing, he is what he is, it is what it is, but he is very knit worthy. He loves the knits. He wears them, uses them till none of the hats have ever fallen apart, but they have sure absorbed a lot of car grease. He commissioned, not commissioned, but he requested that I make those towels a long time ago, where you take the towel material and you crochet the pretty handle that goes over the oven door. And he was like, I can't even use them. They're just so pretty. And then I crocheted a bunch of because I was using cotton yarn, I crocheted like a whole towel and then put the loop on it and everything. And instead of buying towels and doing it, I was crocheting a whole thing. And he's like, I can't use them. They're so cool. They're so pretty. These are for when I'm not working on cars. And only until recently has he started not doing the car thing anymore. And so he's like, I can't use them while I'm, working and fixing cars and stuff all the time. And so, he could use them now because he doesn't do that anymore. This needs to go in the house with me so I can redo that. This needs to get folded up and put back in the bag. Can't believe how many hats I had finished. I just it was like Mary Poppins' bag. It was like Mary Poppins' bag. I just kept pulling them out. And every time I thought the bag was empty, there was an insane stack of hats. My hand should be way down by my belly button where I'm trying to gesture, but the bag is full, full. So every time I thought it was done, it wasn't. Anyway, so I made a lot of headway on the blanket. Today was not good at work because the laundry people that bring our towels have been shortchanging us towels. So I had to spend a ton of time waiting for them to come. And they ended up not coming until I went on lunch. And they left me no towels. The amount of towels that I needed was insane compared to what they left me in reality. So I'm not very happy. And so I didn't get a chance to work on the blanket. And this is my remaining time right now. So, yeah. I really wanted to make 2 colors worth. In the video I made earlier today, I was saying that I really wanted to make, a couple colors. And then I didn't get to, and then now I'm going to go home and I'm going to work on the blanket while Lita tries to, be with her mommy and cuddle her mommy and all that stuff. So I put tea, I put brisk. At work we have unflavored brisk tea in the fountain thing, and we have like lemonade and stuff like that. So I mix the lemonade with the tea, and the lemonade sweetens the tea. And I did that yesterday, and then had my cup in my bag, and all the way in this giant, I can't show you, it's way too heavy, in this insane bag with like all this stuff in it. The ants found their way from wherever they come from in the kitchen and were walking around my cup this morning in the bag, in the depths of the bag. And this is that 100% spill proof cup. They were in the bag with the cup, and they were having the greatest time. But I love crocheting with chunky yarn. A few of the hats were a bit smushed from being in the bag and being in the back seat or whatever. I have to figure out how to plump them up. I asked one of the knitters that makes a lot of videos talking about the care of knits and all that kind of stuff. I asked her if she could tell me or lead me to a video where you plump back up your yarn. And I don't really have access to a dryer, like, relatively. I mean, there's a washer and dryer inside, but we rarely go in there to do the stuff anymore because they always are gone. Last time we did laundry, we did it at a laundromat of all things, which was fine, but we both got sick after because, there's all number of people in there. So, but yeah, I'm excited to get on my blanket. I told myself instead of just making the blanket that I would also knit a hat, so I have to come up with one. So I have enough yarn to do so now. Oh, there's so many blankets like right down there, and like that blue you see is another IKEA bag or another bag of yarn, and there's 4 IKEA bags worth of blankets in here. I really want to spend the day at my storage unit. I want to call in sick and like go to my storage unit and just work in there all day and like organize all my yarn. I had a friend that worked at Amazon, and he gave me 2 of those industrial size totes that they use to put the packages in, and I have my yarn in 2 of those and then a bunch of bags stacked on top, and those things are the size of a crib, so big. And some of my yarn is in here and now right there, but I just want to organize it, and I really want to do a video of frog or finish. I don't call it frogging though. I call it ripping its guts out because to me it's more me. I want to make a frog or finish video because it's interesting. I love watching those videos. So I will do one for you guys to see. But yeah. All right. I'm going to go. I'm just blathering on now at this point. If you're still here, hi. I really want to sew some bags for a giveaway. But my sewing machine and all of its toys. It would be so dope if I had a power supply and I could bring it into my storage unit and I could freaking sew in there. I've seen quite a lot of crafters that don't have the ability to have a space, but they have a storage space because they have to keep their craft stuff somewhere, and they just take the sewing machine in there and do it. Sounds like a good idea to me.